the compensation of all the job titles as far as it is in the governor's office. So afterwards, we are going to create a pandas data frame from all these items. Do you understand the case study? I need to hear from you. Samuel, Kathleen, Franklin, do you understand the case study?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so awesome. So we can go ahead. Yeah, so let's just, installing Selenium, like I said, watch this video if you are having difficulty in installing the web drivers on your system. This is very, very explanatory enough. So, so let's just, but before we get started, let us just refresh our memory of how Beautiful Soup works. So I will just run through some of the cells. So here we are installing Selenium to our local to our Google Colab environment. All right, that's what we are doing here. So we are doing pip install. This is a Windows function. So most of the time you put either what do you call it now, an apostrophe before the pip install or the percentage sign to show that okay, this is a Windows operation. All right, and what you can see is pip install Selenium, pip install LXML. So you know what all this thing does. All right. So let's just go on. So right here we are importing all the relevant libraries that we are going to be needing. Now, right now, I am assuming, or we are assuming at this point, that you have already installed your WebDriver and you have installed your Selenium to your system. All right. So here we are importing Selenium from we are importing WebDriver from Selenium, and then from Selenium.webdriver.common keys we are importing keys. This is our normal Beautiful Soup that we've already gone through. Every other thing remains the same. The request library, this is the regex library, this is the pandas library, this is the OS, all right, and this is the CSV. You will see how all of this affects our work as we go on, right? So, so this is the website. Please feel free to jump in at any point in time. If I'm going too fast or you don't understand what I'm doing, feel free to feel free to stop me at any point in time to call my attention to it, and I'll stop to explain better. All right. So this is the website of the Kansas State government. All right, and we are directly going to the page that is responsible for the governor's office that talks about their pay rates and their compensations. All right. So we are storing that this link in a variable called URL, just like we did for Beautiful Soup. And then we are calling on the request library to get the URL, to get the information in a text format for us. So by the time we run this cell, sorry, I'm not sure I run this cell. That's why we're running to error. So when I run this, so we are fine now, all right? So the link here is storing the information that the request library has gotten from the URL, all right? In this case, we are sure that it's going to be a chunk of HTML, CSS, and even JavaScript, all right? Because it's just capturing all the text details of that particular website, all right? So when we try to run link, all right, you can see that this is what links look like. So when you go through this, all right, when you go through this, you can see what it contains. You can see the content, all right, but then this does not really make any sense. So right now, this is what we are supposed to try and see how we can get meaningful information from, all right, as we go on, all right. So let's try and create a Beautiful Soup object, all right. You remember how we created our Beautiful Soup in the last class? So we just created a variable, all right. This time around, our variable is called agency text, all right, agency text. And then we call the Beautiful Soup library, and then we pass the link that contains the HTML code and all other codes, and then we pass the HTML parser. Does that make sense? Let me ask for your feedback. Do you still understand how we work on the Beautiful Soup? Can you still understand to this point?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So by the time we run the agency test variable, all right, by this time, what we'll be getting now is, this contains a lot of things. This is not just HTML, all right? This contains CSS and a lot of bunch of other codes that does not really make this to make sense. So by the time we have passed in the HTML parser, we are doing a little bit of work to just get the HTML content of the website. And that is what the agency test does. So by the time you run, so can you see now? So we can see the TD, the TR, the A's, and all the elements that we talked about in the last class. You can see it's getting a little bit exciting now. Things are becoming to, turn out the way we wanted. All right. So now let's call Prettify to see if Prettify can do any form of text extraction for us, even in the beta form. But let's see. But from here, I can see that Prettify has not done anything much. All right. So let's just go ahead and do our normal find all. All right. So we are calling these agency tags. All right. We are saying these are the agency tag, and then we are calling the agency text that contains the HTML files, and then we are calling the find all method to find all the rules. How many of you remember what TR? Who can tell me what is TR? By now, you should be more familiar with what TR is.
Table row.
Okay, so this is the HTML tag that is responsible for rows.